Morning.
Good morning.
There seems to have been a net connection, so I had to try 3 or 4 times. Luckily, it's done.
Are you using 4G, doctor?
It's a router. This is the first time I have this sort of problem.
Because of the weather?
Yeah, it could be,
Yes.
because there is a depression,
Yes, exactly.
yeah. Right. Yeah, great. So today we'll try to conclude this will be the last chapter, the last unit. But of course, this is not the end of the story. I mean, this is just an introduction to pragmatics and discourse analysis. You'll have more in perhaps in essay writing and other courses. So let's have screen share. Okay. So what is discourse analysis and what is text analysis? We have two terms, discourse analysis and text analysis. Discourse analysis focuses on the structure of naturally occurring spoken language, as found in such discourse as conversations, interviews, commentaries, and speeches. So we need to learn how a certain conversation, interview, commentary, and speech is organized, because language is a system. Society has conventions. I mean, we have rules and laws. Members of the same community, I mean, must comply with these conventions, norms, rules, and laws. So a conversation has certain rules, interviews, commentaries, and speeches. I mean, if you want to produce any quality work, then you have to learn about how to go about doing your best according to certain rules and laws. Of course, in pragmatics, regularity plays a vital role, norms play a vital role, set of ethics, habits, norms, etc., they all matter. So as I said, learning a language or mastering a language is not simply learning an enormous list of vocabulary out of context, or learning structure or certain structures out of context. What matters most is when, where, and how to use such linguistic elements. So discourse analysis focuses on the structure of naturally occurring spoken language. Um, underline underline the word naturally. So you need to sound natural uh, in using by using the right form in the right context, the right linguistic form, the right linguistic element in the right context. So in order to sound natural. So it focuses on the structure of naturally occurring spoken form, spoken language, spoken form of language, as found in such discourses as conversations, interviews, commentaries, and speeches. Uh, I mean, speeches, of course, delivering a speech. I mean, if you happen to work as a manager or travel abroad, work in public relations, then of course, I mean, speeches are so important. So you might be asked to deliver a speech or give a talk. You may be asked, you may be invited for an interview. You need conversation with your colleagues, with delegations, with experts. You need to have phone calls. I mean, to make phone calls. All these are part and parcel of discourse analysis. Then we have text analysis. Text analysis, as we said, can focuses on the structure of written language, as found in texts, essays, notices, road signs, and chapters. Uh, Unfortunately, I mean, most Arab learners are not taught techniques of text analysis or techniques of even of writing up to the age of say 18 or 20. I mean, if an Arab student is asked to write an essay or a paragraph, sometimes most students face difficulties, you know, in doing so. So I mean, we do concentrate in our curricula on parroting, learning by heart. We are not made aware of certain techniques of writing. Most students finish high school without knowing what the topic sentence is. I mean, what is meant by a topic sentence, how to write a conclusion, how to write an abstract. By the way, did you have any training? I mean, before joining the translation or English department, did you have an experience
yes,
of?
I took this course in another department.
Whereabout?
When I was studying civil engineering, and it was
Yes.
the first course that we have to take it before we start our courses, our plan.
Yeah, good. That's very good. Yeah. Well, this is why I mean pragmatics, phonetics, phonology, translation. All these are not confined to English and translation major students. I mean, most students benefit. Even the TOEFL exam, as you know, test of English as a foreign language, is not meant for English major or translation major. If you want to communicate well, verbally or in writing, then you have to master the language in its entirety, in its cultural context. Whereabout was that university, Osama?
It's Eastern Mediterranean University in Cyprus.
Oh, I see, in Cyprus, yes?
Yes.
Yeah,
It's
yeah.
the main course
Of course,
that we have to take it before we start our plan.
was it academic writing?
Yes, yes, it was academic.
Academic writing, yes.
Yeah.
Yeah. But before that, I mean, I mean, in school, I mean, did you have any such courses or techniques?
No,
No.
not at all.
They just
I was
asked.
in a private school, but it wasn't that technique, the right technique.
Yeah, yeah. Okay. So anyway, we need to master. I mean, how to strike a conversation, how to make an interview, how to deliver a speech. I mean, these are all a combination of science and art, like we have translation. I mean, people, I mean, linguists often ask, is translation an art or a science? Well, I think it's a combination of both. It is an art, of course. Some people are talented. Some people are talented, you know, in mathematics, others in translation, in fine arts, etc. But of course, it's also a science. So it's a combination of a science and art. Right. So delivering a speech, I happen to investigate the speeches of His Majesty. I gathered about 20 or 30 different speeches delivered in different situations. Of course, it's good to have a look at some of these speeches. I mean, they help develop your style, vocabulary, structure, and pragmatics. Different speeches in different contexts, international platforms. So we need to combine theory and practice. We need to combine science and art in order to produce quality work. I happen to teach some American students, as I told you, for 2 years. They came from 14 different American universities, and it was a credit-hour course. A BA student is asked to write an analytic research paper out of 30 marks. And I was really surprised when second or third year students produced research papers, very well documented, analytical, where every word counts. I did ask twice. I mean, I asked two students, when did you first start writing research papers? One of the students said grade 6. grade 6 يعني الصف السادس صح؟ grade 6. The other student said grade 4. Grade 4, they are trained how to investigate a topic, how to collect data, how to analyze data, how to document, how to argue. I mean, this should be done at an early stage. They start even before grade 4. They are programmed how to argue, how to analyze. They are trained in the area of problem solving. So they are given questions that are based on problem solving, not just learning by heart. They are supposed to use critical thinking. Yeah, we badly need. I mean, to change gears, as they say. We should. It's high time to stop. Learning by heart. That it helps. I mean, I'm not saying that learning by heart doesn't help. It does help, but it's a disadvantage when somebody is asked to define a certain term or concept, and he gets the definition right, and when it comes to giving an example, he or she gives a wrong, incorrect example. So that's a disadvantage. Then we learn the definition right, but we can't apply it. This is what's missing from our curriculum. We concentrate on theoretical issues, without combination, without combining. I mean, theory and practice. Right. Okay. So then, text analysis focuses on the structure of written language as found in such texts, essays, notices, road signs, and chapters. Of course, there's a very good book by David Crystal. I mean, he wrote Investigating English Style. This is an excellent piece for translators and for pragmatic students and linguistics students. I mean, every specialized translation has a certain style. Mass media style, legal translation style, literary style, sign notices. I mean, different types of styles are tackled there. So I strongly recommend it if you want to, for further information, read David Crystal, Investigating English Style, the style of conversation, the style of literary translation, the style of legal, the biblical style, the religious texts, what kind of style. So if you want to read more, then I strongly recommend this book. Right. Okay. Right. Can you see this?
No.
Did you shoot a picture of that last time?
The one that you are doing screen sharing for it?
There's something wrong with the
Because
screen share.
you should stop screen sharing, Doctor.
Yeah, I mean, we should do that first. Well, it seems that I pressed a certain button. Just a minute. Just a minute. Okay. It has disappeared. Just a minute. Let me try this. If not, yeah, okay. New share. Here we are. Can you see this now?
Yes, yes, we can.
Yes,
Okay.
Doctor.
Right. Right. So, in order to write a cohesive text, one needs to use several types of cohesive factor or cohesive devices. One is conjunctive relations. What is about to be said is explicitly related to what has been said before through such notions as contrast. Of course, in text analysis, we use contrast, results, and time. So in the sentences, in the following two sentences, we have I left early. However, Jane stayed till the end. I mean, this is contrast. When we use however, it means that there is some sort of contrast. It's like we say, she's a bright student. She's a bright student. However, she's negligent. However, so it shows contrast. Lastly, this expresses time. There is the question of coast. That's one device using contrast. However, time. Lastly, co-reference. Co-reference. We use two types of co-reference. In the first, we have the noun first, followed by the pronoun, in which case we call it anaphoric. So several people approached, a full stop. They seemed angry. Now, they here refers to several people. It could be a noun or a noun phrase. Listen to this. Listen to this. John's getting married. John's getting married. Now, here you have this, a pronoun, followed by the noun or the phrase or the clause. Yeah. So here we have the pronoun after the noun. Here, the pronoun precedes the noun. In English style, they often use cataphoric rather than anaphoric. So in his attempt to solve the crisis, the American president recommended having strict measures. So first we have in his attempt, in her attempt, in their attempt. So you have the pronoun first, followed by the noun. Arabic has been influenced by this style. So it's in a way it's negative transfer from English. I'm not saying that it's all unacceptable, but this is one of the what we call, interference from the source language, which is in translation, which is English, of course. We often translate from English and or French, so we can tell that I can tell, by the way, if I read a text, I can tell whether it sounds natural or not. by noticing that certain syntactic, morphological, semantic rules are violated. Even dictionaries are based on, our modern dictionaries are based on French and English, structures, word formation. Okay. Substitution. One feature replaces a previous expression. One feature replaces a previous expression. So for instance, I've got a pencil. So you have a pencil here. A pencil. In the second, do you have one? So instead of saying, do you have a pencil, we simply substitute pencil by one. So we call this substitution. I've got a pencil, do you have one? So this is a stylistic device. Sometimes in order not to be repetitive, to avoid repetition of the same word in one or two sentences. So we use one. Sometimes we use the words like the former, the latter, instead of saying, repeating the same name again. Will we get there on time? I think so. Now, I think so means I think that we will get there on time. So instead of saying, I think we'll get there on time, there's no need to repeat 3 or 4 words. So we simply say, I think so, or I don't think so. Then we have ellipsis, which is very important. It's used both in spoken and written styles. It's a piece of ellipsis means a piece of structure is omitted and can be recovered only from the preceding discourse. Ellipsis means al-hadf. Where did you see the car? In the street. So here we have something. Here we have something deleted, omitted. So instead of saying, where did you see the car? One is expected to say, I saw it in the street. Where did you see the car? I saw it in the street. So instead of saying, I saw it in the street, we simply say in the street. Of course, I mean, these sentences are related. So they have some reference. They have ellipses. Yeah. Repeated forms. Repeated forms. This is another cohesive device. An expression is repeated in whole or in part. So repetition is not always a disadvantage. It's not always a demerit. Sometimes it's used for stylistic reasons, for emphasis. So Canon Brown arrived. Canon Brown was cross. So here we mean to emphasize a certain linguistic element. So it's not always a disadvantage. This is used in standard English and standard Arabic. Lexical relationships. One lexical item enters into a structural relationship with another. Words have different relations, semantic relations. We have synonyms, we have antonyms, we have hyponyms. How many of you have done semantics?
I am doing
has
this
anybody
semester.
done semantics?
I am doing
You did
this semester.
semantics? Oh, you haven't done it yet, yeah?
Yeah. I studied it all, to be honest.
Next semester, you mean you are going to do it?
This semester.
Oh, I see.
Yes.
I see.
But I have full
Right.
idea for the course.
Okay. So the flowers were lovely. The flowers were lovely. She liked the tulips best. Now, what is the relationship between flowers and tulips?
Tulip is a kind of a flower.
Yeah, tulip is a kind of flowers.
Do you mean
what
that,
kind of relationship is
it's about
between flowers
similarity, yes?
and tulip? Pardon?
It's about similarity?
Technically speaking, I mean, we have homonyms.
Yes.
We have polysems. We have hyponyms.
Yes,
hyponyms.
Yes, it's hyponyms.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, hyponyms. So when we have something as a type of another thing, the relationship is hyponymy. Yeah. Right. So here, tulips is a kind of flower. Right. Yeah, okay. So in hyponymy, what do we have? We have
there's a hyponymy for word and word, and
we have superordinate.
Yes.
Superordinate, yeah.
Yeah.
There's a superordinate, and we have hyponyms.
Yes.
So man or human is a superordinate. Man and woman are hyponyms of that. Son, daughter, etc. I mean, we never mind. So since you are going to do semantics, you study this in depth.
Yeah.
Then you have comparison. A compared expression is presupposed in the previous discourse. A compared expression is presupposed on the previous discourse. So for instance, that house was bad. Now we have bad here. Bad is a compared thing, a compared. Bad, we're going, in the next sentence, we're going to compare bad with something worse. Okay? So that house was bad. This one's far worse. So here we have comparison. We compare that house, which was bad, with this one, which is far worse. Right. I think that's it for this semester. I liked your receptiveness, motivation, contribution, and I hope to see you next semester. If you have any questions, the platform is yours.
Thank you.
I think regarding the final exam, you'll have almost the same. It'll be more or less the same. So you'll have true and false and multiple choice.
Thank you, Doctor.
So
thank you.
Thanks for putting up with me. I know it's it's a tough course. I mean, all linguistics courses are sort of tough to start with, but they are useful, yeah, and they are badly needed.
Yes.
Yeah. Right.
And it's nice
In
as well.
well, if we combine theory and practice, and we should have in most British and American universities, they have a reflection week.
Which
A
is
reflection week is a week where the tutor, the instructor, and the students contemplate and try to relate the outcome of the course with the present and the future. How this course, how a certain course may be used to in development, in reducing violence, in our case, in deepening understanding, global understanding, etc. So
we would
think
like,
about this.
would be
Yeah,
really
well,
nice if
of
we
course. I
do
mean,
something like that.
yeah, we should have real situations. You know,
Yes.
real. So never study a word or learn a word out of context. Structures have different meanings in different contexts. We need to master these.
Yes.
I don't know about phonetics. We might have a Zoom meeting. We missed yesterday's.
Yesterday, but the other group, not it's just for Monday and Wednesday.
يس دكتور امبارح ما أخذنا
Pardon me.
يعني امبارح ما أعطيتنا حكيت بس أعطينا بالليل بس ما أخذنا.
Would Thursday be okay at 7 o'clock?
Yes, it's okay to me, but I don't know about the other student.
Okay, I'll send you. I'll drop you a line and see if it. I'll suggest more than one timing. So we need to have a meeting, just at least one meeting to discuss strong and weak forms. That would be the last chapter. I've already done it. I mean, with Monday, with Saturday, Sunday, and Tuesday.
Okay.
Yeah. Okay.
Doctor, would you send us this photo? That the one you are doing screen sharing for it?
Yeah, sure. Sure. Yeah. Okay.
Thank
Sure,
you.
I'll do that. Right. Okay. Right. I wish you all the best.
Okay, thank you so much.
دكتور هيك الخميس ما في محاضرة؟
محاضرة
pragmatics.
Pragmatics انتهينا الآن.
Yes, thank you,
Yeah.
دكتور.
Right.
It was a useful class.
Oh, well, thank you. Thanks a lot. I mean, your contribution was more than satisfactory. Right. Good.